I was told you had a movie idea for me. Yes, sir, I do. See, last month my wife and my brother went on vacation together alone. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. No, what? Don't be sorry. They accidentally forgot me at home. Are you sure that's what happened? Well, yeah, of course. Why else would they not bring me on a vacation to Paris? All right, I mean, okay. And so, you know, I got to be home all alone. That's great, buddy. It was great. I ate candy, I watched movies, I went grocery shopping all by myself. Okay, to be honest, I'm not getting what the movie idea is, and I'm getting a little sad. Right, so I was thinking, if I'm having such an amazing time, imagine if this happened to an 8-year-old kid. You want to make a movie where a child's wife cheats on him? What? No, I want a kid to be accidentally left at home while his family goes on vacation. I guess my question is, how would that ever happen? Well, his family leaves on a vacation and they don't realize he's not with them. Yeah, but okay, it just seems like a really improbable thing. Oh yeah, I'm well aware. Okay, so... Well, I was doing some research and there's this thing in storytelling called the suspension of disbelief. What's that? They say that the audience sacrifices realism and logic for the sake of enjoyment. Oh, so the audience will kind of just overlook unrealistic things? Right, so I think if we exploit that to like an extreme level, we're good. Huh. Interesting. So I think I figured out like the perfect storm of unrealistic coincidences to get this premise off the ground. All right, you got me, I'm listening. Okay, so first off, the kid has to be part of a huge family. Like it has to be big enough that you wonder if they've ever heard of birth control. Plus some uncles and cousins can be there too. They also all have to be really mean to the kid so he can wish that they would disappear. Then they also have to accidentally throw his plane ticket in the trash. Then they also have to make him sleep in the attic so they don't see him when they're leaving. There also has to be a huge storm the night before the departure that knocks out the phone line so they can't contact him when they're gone. That storm also has to knock out the power. That way their alarms can shut off in the night and they wake up late for their flight. Also, the kid needs to sleep so heavily that he doesn't hear 15 people running around and yelling. There also has to be a random little kid that shows up at the exact moment they're doing a head count so they can get it wrong. Then we have to have nobody think of him even a little bit until they're mid-flight. So they really have to be like an awful family. They have to be the worst family. Oh yeah, also then the kid has to wake up and think he's magic because he wished that they disappeared, and they did. Wouldn't he just make the connection that they were supposed to leave on a trip that morning? You'd think so, but if we have him not understand what an airport shuttle is, he can look at their cars and be like, there's no way they could have gotten to the airport without those. So he thinks he magically erased his family from existence? Right. So just to be clear, we need to have all those extremely unlikely scenarios play out one after the other just to get this kid alone at home by himself? That's right. And this suspension of disbelief. Right, with that, people will just be okay with all of that. Apparently, yeah. All of that. Yeah, pretty cool, right? Well, then awesome. So tell me more about this kid, Kevin McAllister. Well, you know how his family is the worst? Yeah, I imagine he's like the only nice one in the family. Oh no, he's also the worst. Oh, he is? Yeah, he calls his mom a dummy and he's really snarky with everyone. He's also unable to pack a suitcase, like it's the end of the world for him to do that. And how does he get over the trauma of the situation? The trauma? Well, I mean, in Kevin's mind, he's essentially just killed his family with a wish. I imagine that's gonna be hard for him to come to terms with. Actually, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Really? Well, I probably should have mentioned before that Kevin is a psychopath. Oh yeah. We're talking complete disregard for the physical and emotional well-being of everyone he comes across in his life. And he talks to himself, kind of a lot. So he's happy that they're dead. He's thrilled. He has a little eyebrow celebration thing, and then he does all the exact same stuff I did when I was home alone, except I didn't shave. Does anything else happen, or do we just watch a kid go crazy at home by himself? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's where things get really interesting. How's that? Well, it turns out that 2 burglars have their hearts set on breaking into the McAllister house. So why this house in particular? One of them mentioned something about it probably having some VCRs. VCRs are great, and they always will be. So these guys think that the house is empty because they've been casing the joint. Oh no. But Kevin finds out that they want to break in. So he calls the cops? No. Well, eventually. Eventually, why not right away? Because of the psychopath thing. Oh. I don't get it. Well, the bandits break in, but Kevin is like some kind of genius. Like he set up a bunch of intricate death traps that they walk into one by one. But you said the kid was freaked out about packing a suitcase, like that was too much. Oh, right. And now he's like a death trap engineer? Yeah, no, that's a mistake. I'll change the suitcase thing. That doesn't make any sense. Meh, it's probably fine. You sure? It's no problem. I could change it to something that makes the whole death trap engineer make sense. Nah, keep the suitcase thing. It's all good. Okay, so he's too stupid to pack a suitcase, but He's great at traps. So what happens with the robbers? Well, they somehow survive a bunch of very, very fatal injuries. Wow. Yeah, and in the middle of the robbery, it seems like they forget that they wanted to rob the house, and now they just want to murder this child. It becomes about murder. It seems that way. Because at a certain point, Kevin just leaves them alone in the house, and they don't take anything. Just focused on the kid, no more VCRs. Yep, so at the end, they get arrested because they tried to break in and murder a child. It's very dark. And then overnight, he manages to clean up all the traps, including some stairs covered in tar. And then his family comes back the next day and immediately ignore him again. What do you think? Well, I think it might have some potential, but it's missing something, some kind of big selling point. Do you have anything in mind? Well, we could try the Christmas play. I mean, that rarely works, but what's that? That's when you make a movie take place at Christmas time, even if it has almost nothing to do with Christmas time. So people think, oh, this is a Christmas movie, I have to watch it. Exactly. Would that work if I just add in a couple of random Christmas elements? Well, it's certainly not gonna be a Christmas classic, but it's worth a shot.
So my family was recently listening to the radio, and a Christmas poll was done, whatever the station was, and it came out that Home Alone was the number 3 most overrated Christmas movie. And we all disagree with that. What do you think of that? Would you disagree or do you agree? Let me know in the comments. Let's get on to Home Alone 2.
So, you have a Home Alone sequel script for me? Yes, sir, I do, and it only took me like 20 minutes to put together. How is that possible? Well, I just took every single story beat and plot point from the first movie and made them all a little more intense or elaborate. Oh, that's smart, because people liked the first movie, they gave me money to see it. Right, so I figured they'd pay us a bunch of money to see it again, but different. I love it already, so how are we kicking things up a notch? Well, instead of being alone at home, this time Kevin is gonna be alone in New York City. Oh, New York City is much bigger than a home. I thought so too. So how does Kevin end up alone in NYC? Well, the family's planning on heading down to Florida for Christmas, but the dad accidentally unplugs the alarm clock the night before they leave, so they have to rush to the airport again. They have one alarm clock for a house of 14 people and they don't double check it before bed. That's what we're going with. Stretching that suspension of disbelief real thin. Again. Yes, sir, I am. Wow. So anyway, everybody's running through the airport and Kevin tells his dad, hey dad, I need batteries for my Talkboy recorder thing. So the dad's like, I'll give you the batteries on the plane. We're extremely late and this is not a priority at all. No, he hands Kevin a bag that has his wallet and some cash in it. There's no way anyone would actually do that though. I know, but this way Kevin will have some spending money in New York. Okay, so we're taking another little break from logic so that can happen. Oh yeah, we're gonna take a lot of those kinds of breaks. I guess we'll have to. And so Kevin gets separated from his family and follows someone he thinks is his dad onto the wrong plane. Isn't it hard for him to get past airport employees and security? Actually, super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, the airport people just kind of take Kevin's word for it that his dad's on that plane. I didn't realize how laid back airport security was. Yeah, well, it's the early 90s right now, so airport security isn't that much of a concern yet. Fair enough. Vaguely ominous statements about the future are tight. Yeah, I guess that was pretty weird of me. So how does Kevin not realize that he's not on the same plane as his family? Well, his mom said that because it's Christmas time, they couldn't get seats together. They were lucky to even be on the same flight. So how is there an empty seat for him on the New York plane? I don't know. Fair enough. So yeah, then Kevin's gonna get to New York and the fun's gonna begin. Wow, so what does he do? Oh, well, he's gonna go to a fancy hotel and commit a bunch of credit card fraud and identity theft to get a room. Oh my god. But like in a cute way. Okay, good. Yeah, but this one concierge thinks the whole thing is super suspicious. Oh, so he stops Kevin before he goes up to the room? No, later he's gonna sneak into Kevin's room. Oh, he is? Yeah, well, he wants to confirm his suspicions that Kevin is alone in there. So best case scenario in this guy's mind, he's breaking into a child's room and finding that child all alone. Well, it sounds creepy when you say it like that. I think it sounds creepy any way you say it because it's super creepy. Maybe. And what else happens in New York? Oh, well, Kevin's gonna have to deal with some bad guys again. Oh, I guess the city is a perfect place to introduce some wacky new criminals. Well, actually, I was thinking it could be Harry and Marv from the first movie. But weren't they arrested in Chicago? Yeah. So how would that even be possible? Well, they escaped from prison and got onto a fish truck that ended up in New York City on the same day that Kevin McAllister arrived. My disbelief is so suspended right now. Yeah, and they keep crossing paths with Kevin on the street, so eventually Harry's like, hey, that's the kid that sent us to jail. They keep crossing paths with him? Yeah, you know how you always just kind of come across the same people in New York? That almost never happens. There are like 7 million people in New York. Oh, I thought there were like 200. You thought there were 200 people living in New York City? Yeah, now you're telling me 7 million. This whole thing seems pretty far-fetched. Won't this kind of be covered by the whole suspension of disbelief thing? I don't know, I have people running into each other kind of a lot. Oh, you do? Yeah, Kevin keeps running into the same crazy bird lady. Marv gets hit in the face twice by the same lady on separate occasions. How does that happen? Well, later Marv and Harry manage to grab Kevin, right? Okay. And so to escape, Kevin pinches a random lady's butt. And it turns out to be the same exact woman that Marv had sexually harassed earlier that day. Wow, what are the odds of that? Well, I thought they were 1 in 200. Right. Anyway, so Marv and Harry's big plan is to rob this place called Duncan's Toy Store and then fly away to an island. Pretty horrible plan. But then Kevin decides to save Christmas by stopping them. Okay. And then he lures them to his uncle's house that's undergoing renovations, and he has a bunch of traps set up for them. Oh, some clever traps? Yeah, but also, you know, just throwing bricks at their faces from the roof. Oh my god. Yeah, Marv is gonna take like 5 bricks to the face. That's incredibly intense. It is. And then inside the house, we're gonna have a bunch of super deadly traps that defy physics. But somehow, Marv and Harry just don't die. How do they survive all that stuff? Well, we're gonna have this big reveal where you find out that Harry and Marv are actually immortal. What? Yeah, so we're gonna have this psychopath kid trying to murder these 2 immortal beings, but they're just not dying. I'm not sure I like the reveal of them being immortal beings. So what, you want Kevin to successfully kill them? No, I'd say keep all the deadly traps, just take out the reveal. But there's no way they can survive any of that without being immortal. It's literally the only explanation that makes sense. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. Okay. And how does the movie end? Well, Kevin's entire family's gonna fly up to see him. What happened to that whole thing about it being impossible to get plane tickets on Christmas? Well, that line was at the beginning of the movie, so I'm hoping people are gonna forget we said it. Oh, fingers crossed. And then Kevin's dad is gonna see like a $900 hotel bill and lose his mind. Didn't he just fly 14 people across the country twice? Why is he mad about $900? So we can have this fun ending where he yells in the hotel room and Kevin hears him all the way in Central Park. The dad yells in the hotel and Kevin hears him in Central Park? Yeah, he does. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. That's not possible. It's a funny ending. Get off my back. But it doesn't make any sense. My back is where you are and I'd love for you to vacate the premises. Okay, well, I'm at least gonna try to get the Plaza Hotel, so at the very least the hotel will be right across from Central Park. Oh, you think you can get the Plaza Hotel? Yeah, apparently if you give the owner a cameo, you can use any of his buildings for your movies. It's like this ego thing that he has. Wait, who owns the Plaza Hotel?
Home Alone 2 was always my favorite of the 2 that I watched the most. We always watch Home Alone 1 and 2 during Christmas time. And we'll watch Home Alone 3, but like the kids will watch that. I never watched that one. Or 4. Or 5. I think there's like 5 of them or something like that. Home Alone 2 was always my favorite. And I think it's just because it was just a bigger scenario from the first movie. It's literally the same movie as the first one, but you know, it's bigger. It's New York. He's in an apartment, or his uncle's apartment that he's never been to. He uses that as his trap machine. And it's just the antics are just a lot funnier. So I've always enjoyed this one more. Let's get to this one, then we'll talk about a few more things afterwards. Let's get to the third one. This will be kind of brand new for me because I don't remember anything about this movie at all. So let's check it out.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. What if I told you we could still make money off of Home Alone? I would fall in love with you and propose immediately. Seriously? I'm 100% serious. I mean, I don't want that, but I do think we can make money off of Home Alone. I'm gonna frickin' marry you. Please don't. It's happening. Okay. So how is this possible? I mean, Macaulay Culkin's like 16 or 17 at this point. That's right, he's a full-on teenager now, and there's nothing cute about teenagers. They're disgusting, so what do we do? Well, I figure we could have the movie just be about some other kid. Oh, like a relative of Kevin McAllister? Nah, just a completely different kid. So this is not like a sequel or a spin-off or anything. It's not, no. We are gonna call it Home Alone 3, though. Oh, misleading titles are tight, so what happens in this thing? Well, we start the movie in Hong Kong. What? And we meet a group of 4 bad guys working for a North Korean terrorist organization. What is going on? And they get their hands on a top-secret microchip worth millions of dollars that can control missiles or something. I think you might have accidentally started to pitch me Die Hard 4. No, sir, this is Home Alone 3. I'm just raising the stakes a bit. Wow, well, it sure seems that way. The stakes used to be maybe 2 guys will steal a VCR. Yeah, well, now it's maybe North Korea's gonna kill everyone. Well, okay then. So tell me more about these bad guys. Well, they're all pretty much the same generic evil person, but one of them is the lead generic evil person. Oh, sounds interesting. Not really, no. So anyway, to get through security, they hide the chip inside this toy car. Okay. But then an old lady accidentally takes their bag, so they have to follow her all the way to Chicago. That's where the McAllisters are from. That's right, and also completely irrelevant. Oh, okay. So they try to catch up to this old lady, but she gets in a cab. Oh, she gets away. Yeah, but one of the bad guys takes a picture of the cab with his secret glove spy camera. He has a secret glove spy camera? Yeah, pretty cool, right? I mean, yeah, but how did he get that past airport security? I don't know. Should have hidden the computer chip in his gloves. Maybe. So anyway, this old lady ends up giving the toy car to the main character, Alex, for shoveling her driveway. Oh, okay, I see. And does this Alex kid have a bunch of brothers and sisters like Kevin McAllister? No, he just has one brother and one sister. Okay, what's their deal? Well, the brother's like really mean, but like cool in a 90s way. Weird of you to specify the current decade. And he also has a sister who looks like maybe she'd sacrifice herself on Vormir. What was that? What? I don't know, it sounded like he said something. I didn't. Okay. So anyway, then it turns out that Alex has chickenpox, so he can't go to school. But his parents really have to work, so he gets to stay home alone. That's the name of the movie. It sure is, sir. Wow. Wow. So is he like super excited to be home alone like Kevin was? Is he jumping around and stuff? Nope, not really. He pretty much just goes to spy on his neighbors in a rear window kind of way. Oh, a very Hitchcockian child. Yeah, and so it turns out the bad guys have figured out which neighborhood the toy car is in, but not which specific house. Okay. So they rent a house in the neighborhood and they steal a dog and they set up a bunch of spy equipment. What, they steal a dog? Yeah, they steal a dog and walk it around the neighborhood to seem like normal citizens. They steal a dog and then walk that dog around the neighborhood in which they stole it? That's right. And how'd they get the spy equipment? Was that on the plane too? I don't know. Well, okay then. Anyway, so then Alex sees the bad guys doing sketchy stuff inside a neighbor's house, right? Right. So he calls the cops, but they show up too late and the bad guys get away. Oh no. Anyway, so then Alex sees the bad guys doing sketchy stuff inside a neighbor's house, right? Right. So he calls the cops, but they show up too late and the bad guys get away. Right, yeah, you just walked me through that. Yeah, well, the exact same thing happens twice in a row. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we gotta pad the runtime somehow. Exactly. So then Alex takes matters into his own hands and he goes to spy on the bad guys with the car. What do you mean? Well, he straps a camera on top of it. It has a little tape inside and everything. That's okay, but how does he manage to see where it's going? Well, he has a live feed from this camera that works at great distances. You know how consumer cameras work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure not like that. Well, this one's gonna work like that. So then the bad guys chase the toy car for longer than you'd expect, and then they catch it. Oh, so they get the microchip? No, they take the tape first. What? And then Alex manages to uppercut one of them with the car and drive it away. He uppercuts someone with a car? That's what we're going with. Fair enough. So then Alex knows that the bad guys are gonna come to his house, so he sets up a bunch of traps. Are the traps incredibly violent and require engineering skills he should in no way have? You know it. I love it. Yeah, so they're gonna get electrocuted, have heavy things dropped on their heads, fall from really high up. It's gonna be a bloodbath minus the blood. So it's gonna be a bath. It's gonna be a bath. One guy's gonna have a running lawnmower fall on his head and it just gives him the wackiest haircut. Oh, so that's what happens when you stick your head in a running lawnmower. I gotta give that a shot. Oh, I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, well, I'm still gonna do it. If you insist. Also, one guy's gonna get hit in the groin area and he's gonna be like, you smacked my winky. Okay, yeah, that's an appropriate response, I'd say. Oh my, what is going on there, sir? Oh yeah, that's just something that happens when a lot of my brain cells give up at once. It's nothing to worry about. Well, okay then. So how does the movie end? Well, 3 of the generic bad guys get caught, but the lead generic bad guy's nowhere to be found. Uh-oh, is it gonna be hard to track him down? Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, the family has this parrot who has like a rich and comprehensive vocabulary, and he's gonna ride the toy car into an igloo and find the bad guy in there. And it also turns out that this thing was pre-rigged with fireworks, so the parrot lights a match and gets the heck out of Dodge. Okay, okay. Here's a question though. What? What's up? So that's like that's a magical parrot. Yeah, he's magic. So anyway, can we talk more about the parrot that's magic? Oh no, we can't. Sorry. So anyway, what do you think of the movie? Well, I think it sounds like kind of maybe a Home Alone film. Yeah, it is kind of. And you know, we really should cash in now because nobody's gonna care about Home Alone a couple of decades from now. That's a good point.
All right, so I'm gonna put it out there. Home Alone 3, as far as pitch meetings, was the best one. That was the best one for me. That was the funniest one. 1 and 2 are funny, but the third one's just so out there and so wacky and so ridiculous that he's able to find much more comedy within that one. So there will be a poll for this one a little bit after this video comes out or goes live. There'll be a poll you can vote on for your favorite of the 3. Because again, this is what you guys voted on of the Christmas ones, the last Christmas one for the month anyway. Yeah, so this was good. I liked how I went about this, and I liked how they improved as they went. as far as the pitch meetings, because, you know, some are older, and then obviously this Home Alone 3 one came out after Endgame. That's where he was able to put in the Scarlett Johansson joke and things like that, which I knew he'd do something there. I had a feeling once I found out she was in the movie. But yeah, that was funny. So select your favorite one in the poll that I put out a little bit later. You can also put it in the comments below, which I think would be cool. But I'd like to show the results in the next Versus video so you guys can see a little bit of, you know, what you guys chose. Again, these are really good. 3 is the best for me. Let me know what you think was the best one. What's one of your favorite scenes from these movies? If you've watched the third one. A lot of people I know don't watch the third one because it's just, why they even do it? I'm wondering if he'll do a pitch meeting for 4, and I think there is a 5th one. I know Disney Plus is going to be doing a Home Alone movie, if not series, but I think it's going to be another movie. And so if there's a 5th one, 4th and 5th, let me know if you've seen those two. I'd be interested. Comment below with your thoughts on these and any of the other Home Alone movies. I haven't seen the other one, so enlighten me a little bit. If you are subscribed to the channel, though, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate the support as always, and replying to you guys' comments and seeing how you guys come back each and every day. It's been great. I'm really enjoying what we're doing here. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You've had a couple of options that you can do that in different times. You can do that throughout the video. So I hope you join the crew, the On My Mind crew, and also share this video or this channel with someone if you think they enjoy this type of comedy and watching these sketches with me. Before you go, though, check out some of our other pitch meeting reactions. Got a whole list of videos you can watch there and different reactions from Screen Rant and Ryan George. What he does for that channel is great. You can also check out one of the most recent videos we've done for Tenet, which was a pitch meeting reaction. One of the funniest so far. So check that out. It's really funny. So if you've seen all that, as always, then I'll see you right now for this one in the comments.